How do I analyze multiple data runs in a graph, say with a curve fit? Here's the curve fit tool.
And this button's interesting because the left part of the button is already on. Why don't I see any curve fits? Well, it's because the curve fit has not been selected yet from the right drop-down portion. So I'll click the drop-down right portion of the curve fit button, and you'll see over a dozen different fits we can choose from, including essentially an infinite number. We can define our own. In this case, I'd like to try a damped sine fit. So I'll turn that on, and you can see in the background that it has done its best and done pretty good job of fitting a damped sine fit to run number 2. And this is essentially the product of an exponential decay and a sine fit. And this label shows me the parameters of that fit. It would be reasonable to ask, well, why did it only analyze run number 1? Well, we only have one graph toolbar, and we have to figure out what run, if we have multiple runs, does this graph toolbar apply to. It turns out that it applies to, by default, the most recent. And we know that by looking at the legend here. So if we look at the legend, you'll notice both runs listed. And only one of them, the most recent run, number 2, is active, as we call it. And that's indicated by a shaded background behind the symbol for this run. So the most recent run is active by default, and that's why the damped sine fit applied to run number 2 only. If I want to make a different run active, I'll go to its symbol in the legend, or alternatively, I can click on a data point of that run itself in the graph. It becomes the active run. So now with run number 1 active, I could return to the dropdown for the fit and choose the same damped sine fit, and we can see it making a different fit, but successful fit to that one. By the way, you may ask, can you make more than one run active at a time? It turns out you can by shift clicking or by clicking on the header here. So if I wanted to hide all my fits, I could make sure all the runs are active, and I could come back here and toggle these curve fits on and off with the left part of that curve fit button.